Hi guys, I am the Off-Rail Gamer, and today I'm playing Car Mechanic Simulator. Hopefully, I have this on Steam, so I'm trying some game cap from my laptop today, which I've not done before. To date, I've only ever done game capture on consoles using the Elgato. Today, I am going to try and see if I can get this working. And if it does work, you'll know it's worked because you'll be listening to my voice now and you'll be watching the gameplay. So this is just a really gentle game. At point of filming, I just wanted to chill out a bit. I've just, at time of filming, I've literally just filmed the first, or game capped, the first episode of Undead Nightmare 4, our season of Scare, that we did last month. Last month at point of viewing, I should hasten to add. So we're on 2 time frames here. And yeah, I've just been swarmed with zombies. And I thought, you know what, I need to play something a bit chill. I really like this Car Mechanic Simulator. I think it's 2015, so it's not the latest version, but it is good fun. It's just a nice, casual game, really, isn't it? So, I'm gonna take this one. We'll do a big job. Let's fix up a car, see how long it takes. Maybe fix up a second car. And just have a bit of a chill video, to be honest with you. So what have we got here then? Right, what's the problem with you? Engine, replace all filters, timing, running gear, and hard to control. So we probably will need it up on the lifter, but we can start in the engine bay. Pop the hood, take everything out. And, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, as the Chuckle Brothers used to say. Right, let's get everything out. Take it all apart. Find out what needs replacing. Then we'll put it all back together again. Here we go. Okay, in there looks clean enough. We'll have to take the throttle off. Yeah, I'll be honest. In real life, I don't know too much about cars. I know the basic stuff that you need to know to pass your test, and that's kind of why I find this game so much fun. I'm kind of interested, but I don't have any ramps or anything, and also I don't trust myself to go taking my car apart and being able to put it back together again. So I'm certainly not going to do this in real life, but I will do it in a video game, in a computer game. Get the water pump off, that's definitely going to want replacing. Look at the state of that. But what's that, the alternator down there? Got the air filter up here, and it says replace all filters. Got to take the clips off. I always forget to put the clips back on at the end. I go to complete the job and it goes, no, you haven't finished yet. Why? Oh, I haven't put the clips on the air filter. So, knowing that that is one of my shortcomings, I have a heightened awareness for it now. We should be alright. Look how filthy that is. Okay. Right. I wonder what the manifold's going to look like. It didn't say it had problems with the exhaust, did it? I don't think. It's problems with the steering. And I can see down here, look, we'll get under the car in a minute. What a state. The shock absorbers at the front here, look, we've got the cap on the left, on the passenger side, sorry, and the shock absorber itself on the driver's side. I'm talking about that as though it's a British car. We'll have a look in a minute. I don't know what side the steering wheel's on, because it's probably actually an American car, isn't it? Don't know. Don't know till we have a look. Alright. See what state the timing belt's in as well. Got rubber bushing down there is going to have to get replaced. Get the cam gears off. Got to get the spark plugs out next, don't we? Here we are. And then what's this? Fuel rail. Now we take the engine head off, see what state the pistons are in, but we will have to take the oil tray off the bottom to be able to get those out. I think. Yep. Piston with conrod. What else can we take out from up here then? I think for now that is it. Send it up then. Send it up. We'll get underneath it. I'm going to start by taking these wheels off. Getting to the problem with the steering, the shock absorbers, the brakes on this side at least look in pretty good condition, but this doesn't look, does it? Front wheel hub. So gotta take the tie rods off. There's another one here before we can take the shock absorber off. Now, does the cap have to come off first? Yep. Then the shock absorber. Then the spring's okay. So we'll get this lower suspension arm off. And now we can take that front wheel hub off. The inner tie rod out. The steering rack looks okay. Don't forget this rubber bushing that we spotted earlier. That needs to come out. The others I think are okay. Yeah, the state of it. Alright. Take it all off. Drive axle out. Then this little, what's it called? The hub bearing. Now we've got to take the tie rods off. Actually, the inner tie rod on this side looks good. So that's nice. Take the shock absorber cap off so we can then, whoops, take the shock absorber off. Okay, I think that's everything for the front, although, before I go anywhere, I was going to take the engine apart, wasn't I? Get the oil tray off. And the oil filter. Yep, we've got to change all the filters. Certainly do. Right. Can I... whoops. Can I see any problems up in there? They look like they might be okay, so I might not take that apart any further. Do we want to have a look? Running gear faults. Yeah, we probably do need to have a look in the gearbox then, don't we? There then. Could get the starter off. Should have done that before I raised it. Rookie mistake. Get that off. And then I will take the pistons out just to make sure they're okay. Whoops. Why are you being so fiddly? Well, goodness. They just don't want to come out. Right, there you go. You can come out, you can come out. Probably don't need to take the whole engine apart. Well, I pretty much have at this point. Yeah, you see, driving wheels on the left. So, what I was saying earlier about passenger side and driver's side, reverse that. This is the other way round. Any hoodle. Get the gearbox off. Have a look at the clutch plates and everything. Check how we're looking. I wonder if I do wonder if I do need to take the crankshaft out. I wonder. It looks okay. Don't know. Let's go to the back of the car, and if we're still having problems, then we'll have a look at that. How are we looking back here? The other side looks a mess. Got a bit of rust in here. Yeah, there's your problem. Your rear wheel hub. Oh. Rubber bushing. That needs to come out. I know. Then you got your upper suspension is shot on both sides by the looks of things. Yep. Shock absorber spring is knackered. Fuel pump's knackered. Right, what are we looking at here? I want to take this off. That's it for this side for now. So we'll take this wheel off. I'll have a look at what's going on underneath it. Funny, a lot of the cars that come in on this game, the brakes are knackered. Always replacing the brake pads, calipers, brake discs, brake drum cylinders, brake shoes, all sorts. Right, you off. Got to get everything off on this side. We take that out now. And oops. Take the rubber bushing out so that I can take the suspension arm off. Because I need to get, it's not the knuckle, is it the knuckle housing? To get that shock absorber off. Look at this. Oh, I've got to take all this off. Okay. There we go. Got a small rubber bushing. And now we can take the knuckle housing off. Right. How are we looking? Still haven't found all the parts that need replacing. For the running gear either. Okay. So we've got to go back to the front of the car. Where am I standing? Back. Okay. Let's have a look then. Take the crankshaft out. I'm going to take everything out. Bet it'll be another rubber bushing or something that I just haven't spotted. It could be the battery. Might want looking at. We'll take it out. We'll rip everything out. Aha. As long as we remember to put it all back, we'll be okay. Might as well take that out as well then. Right. Found all those parts now. Still haven't found all these parts. I never did. It's not the radiator, is it? Doesn't look like it. That wouldn't be a running gear fault anyway. Okay, bung it back up. Strip everything out. We'll find it. I bet it is one of these rubber bushings. That one looks alright. Alright. That out. Oops, take that out. And take everything out. So we can find out exactly what the problem is. I thought we'd have found it by now. But I haven't seen any rusty parts coming out. We shall. Sometimes it's quite satisfying taking the whole thing apart anyway. Get you out. Ah, look at that. There it is. got it. Okay. Let's get all new ignition coils. Because might as well replace them all. Oops. Ignition coils. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Right. What I also want to do is sort it by condition. Right. Sway bar rear end links. Two of those. Get fuel filter. So that's had it. Get 2 rear springs. Might as well do the suspension so that, I mean, even if the other side hasn't gone yet, we'll want it balanced, won't we? Rubber bushing. We've got 2 rubber bushings and 1 small there that I can see. So, rubber bushing. 1, 2, and 1 of those. Fuel pump. Front shock absorber. A couple of those, we need front springs. We'll get the caps as well. Get rid of that. Got the fuel pump, didn't I? Rear knuckle housing A and front wheel hub. Rear and knuckle. Knuckle. Rear. It was A, wasn't it? I'll get 2 just in case. Need a front wheel hub. I think I only need 1. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Right. Belt tensioner. I don't know if it was a part A or B. Sway bar front end link A. Any fuel rail and timing belt. It's a DI, isn't it? Timing belt. That's one of them. Right, 2 rear suspension upper arms. There's one. There's the other one. Right, air filter and base. Get that. Oops, get a new cover. Get a new filter. I think I've got that. 2 outer tie rods. Wheel hub bearing and a real wheel hub. One of them. One of them. Intake manifold I4DI. Intake manifold I4DI. Front drive axle. Yeah, we're getting... should be alright after we've replaced all these poor condition bits. The piston onwards will be fine, so front drive axle C, inner tie rod. Inner tie rod. I need a new oil filter. I4. Chunk close off now. Right, lower suspension arm, rear sway bar A. Rear sway bar A. There it is. Throttle, water pump, and a wheel hub bearing. Easy. Throttle, water pump, and a wheel hub bearing. Cool. So now we'll just put the car back together. I say. Right. What I need to do first. Suppose I'll work back here first. Whoops. Press the wrong button. That's what I wanted to press. Get the fuel tank back in. Get the new fuel pump in. Okay. Got all these rubber bushings to put in, which I must not forget. Because they're always... it's all the small parts, and you forget you've taken them out. And you can get so far, and if you haven't put something small back in, you've got to take half of it apart again to be able to get back to the bit you've got to put back on. So it is as well to try and remember. Got small rubber bushing down here, haven't I? I mean, luckily it doesn't let you put some bits back on until you've got everything else in place, but there are some bits, particularly in the engine, like you can put the engine hood back on if you haven't got all the spark plugs in, or sometimes you'll have valve push rods and things like that you can just forget about. Shouldn't, you can't really, because you have to put them back on to complete the job, but you can put stuff on and then realise you've got to take half of it back off again to go and put your valve push rod back in the engine block, things like that. Here we go. good. Right, we can get this side put back together, I reckon. The caliper back on. Get the. Oh, is that right? Yeah, looks like it. Get the wheel back on. There we go. Okay. Might as well get you back in place. Do the rest of the exhaust in a minute though. Because we're going to use that to move to the front of the car. Rather than coming all the way out, walking to the front of the car and going back in. There we go. Got a small rubber bushing down here. Which means I can get this back on. We'll get the suspension spring cap on. Here we are. Whoops. Okay. So the thing that I'm looking for next, you can get upgrades to your garage in this game. I've got a lot of the useful ones. So for example, I can screw and unscrew nuts and bolts and things a lot quicker now. I think I can repair items. Well, that's not something that I do a lot of. I usually just buy new parts. But the thing that I want next is parking. And I think once you've got parking, from memory, although as I say this is a somewhat old game and I play it on and off here and there, I think though when you've got parking you can then start looking at car auctions. And actually buying cars to do up rather than just having cars to fix up. Which is fun, fixing up cars. Also, it's the money maker for the garage. So if you've got one that you're doing up to be all flash and nice and speedy and whatever, it's not going to be a priority, and you're actually going to need to fix up cars to make money, to make sure that you can buy all the nice parts for your doer-upper. I made that mistake once before. I got a car and I was really excited to work on it. This is in-game, not in real life. I hasten to add. Yeah, got a car that I wanted to do up, all nice and everything. It was a big mistake because I ran out of money. And I was blindly spending money on new parts for this car, and then I realised I'd completely run out of money. I think I'd already taken out a loan, so I can get a second loan. And I couldn't even afford the parts to fix up other cars. So I learnt my lesson, and now if I get to that stage again, I will make sure that whatever the fun car is, the project that I'm working on in the parking lot, I'll make sure that I'm just buying a few bits for it here and there, putting them on, then doing some proper jobs, and then buying some more bits and fix it up, do it up slowly, you know, like people do in real life, rather than just blowing all my money on it at once and getting stuck. I had to restart the game right from scratch. But as I say, that was a long time ago now. What have I forgotten? Got me tie rods on, haven't I? Aha. Was it round here? Yeah, of course it isn't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing there. Probably have to take all that apart in a minute then. Anyhoodle. Let's start getting the engine back in. The alternator on. A couple of bits done here. But next I will have to go back underneath. I think. Get the crankshaft in before I can get the Dubree's pistons back in. There we go. Right, good. Clutch back together. That's another part they often quite like you to. There's some cars where they'll have a drive axle between the front of the car and the back of the car. You have to take that off before you can get the gearbox off. And on those kinds of cars, you can safely bet they're going to make you replace the clutch plate, pressure plate, or clutch bearing, something. They'll make you take the gearbox off just so that they can make you take that drive axle apart and then the gearbox, and it's pretty cool though. Alright, get my pistons back in. I think the battery was okay, wasn't it, in the end? Starter back on. Get the fuel tank back on in a minute. There we go. Going to do me spark plugs next because, again, they're one of those small bits that are a little bit fiddly. I don't want to forget about them. Camshafts on, and then the cam gears, and then we can get the timing belt on. And then put the timing cover back on. Starting to look like an engine again. I might do the air filter next, just because, as I say, it's got those clips on that I always forget about, and it's just seeing it in the way there has just reminded me that I always forget about the clips. So, whoops. Probably put that back together now. Nice new clean air filter. Get all 4 clips on. Oh, come on. so fiddly and small. Let's come around the other side. Got the exhaust manifold to go on as well. Here we are. The neat thing, if this recording has worked, is it'll open up a few more options for us. I haven't got a huge Steam library, but I think we've got some fun games that we can have a look at. Got a few games that we can have a look at on Steam. And maybe I'll even start looking at like Steam sales and things, future Steam sales. If it's something that works, it's another medium we can play with. It'll be good. You see, I'm just looking down at me steering there, and that is the part that I thought was missing, but maybe it's because I didn't have the gearbox in yet. I'll just put the ignition coils in, our nice new ignition coils. Right. Getting there. Nearly finished up top. We put the back of the car together again, didn't we? So we've just got to go down underneath, put the front exhaust pipe in. Oh, don't forget the throttle. I think we're done up here. Put the front exhaust pipe back in. Get the rest of the steering put back in. The oil tray as well. Then we'll get some oil in the car, and should be job done. Here's what I wanted to put in. Front drive axle. Now we can get the wheel on. There we go. Good stuff. I'll come over this side. Better get the shock absorber put back in. We won't be wanting to go far without that. Be a very bumpy ride. Right, tie rod. There we go. Lower suspension. Pop that in. Okay. I'll get the and get the wheel hub bearing back in. I can get the drive axle on. And get the brake disc on. Pads, calipers. What am I missing? The sway bar. The link. Here we are. Now I can get the wheel on. And I think it's just the oil tray. Get some new oil in it. It should be job done. I think. Before I go any further, I'll very quickly check my inventory. Yeah, we put all of that on, I think. Right, so oil. We will only do the one car in this episode. I'm conscious we've been going for a little while. And I'm happy to play and play and play. If this video is popular, I'll do another one. But I am conscious that it is getting on a little bit. I don't know how interesting this is. This was really a test for me to try and game cap for my laptop. Finished job. And there we have it. We fixed up a car together. Guys, I had a lot of fun with this. As I say, I appreciate this was a much slower paced episode. Even by my standards, and I know it was pretty pedestrian to begin with, wasn't it? But if you did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. I can do more. And yeah, I'll look to get some more PC games up, I guess. I am working off a laptop with a mouse pad. I don't even have a mouse to go with it. So it's going to be things along the lines of, I guess, Civilization, Age of Empires, that sort of thing. Games like this. I've got Sid Meier's Pirates, that's good fun. Probably put that up on the channel at some point. Yeah, otherwise it's like going to be like Sims or simulators. Things without overly complicated controls. Although you can hook up your game controller, can't you? But then I'm sort of like, well, wouldn't you just play it on the console? If you're going to play it with a controller, I don't know. I've not done a huge amount of PC gaming. But we've done a little bit today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too dull. And I'll see you again. I don't know what we're going to be doing next week. I've not decided yet. Bye. Oops.